with it being Monday, it is now time for this week's new and improved, might I add, this week's top 10 Major League Baseball power rankings. Let's start, Alex, at number 10 with the New York Yankees, who, though they might be teetering back and forth with the Boston Red Sox for last place in the AL East, it speaks volumes to just how good the AL East is, because the Yankees are 23-19, and Judge is back. They're playing good baseball. They had a really good series against the best team in baseball, which is the Tampa Bay Rays right now. Played them very well. Came down to that last at bat with Aaron Judge, which we talked about. Ultimately end up losing on Sunday, but still a good series. Promising results for the Yankees. And the Yankees aren't in the business of moral victories, obviously, with their payroll. And aside from payroll, you're the New York Yankees. So I'm not going to talk moral victories, but their series against the Rays was promising, and Judge being back, they look pretty good. So I have them here at 23-19 at number 10 on this week's power rankings.
Number 9 was not ranked last week, the Minnesota Twins.
Yeah, the Twins are they're having an interesting season because they've been as high as I think like 3rd or 4th this year. Early in the year, they were very, very good. Then went through a tough skid, but another weekend series victory for them. Who knew this would be said, but Joey Gallo being out hurt them quite a bit. He's been a great power source for them this year. Correa seems to be heating up. They're pitching dominant. Pablo Lopez, Joe Ryan leading that rotation. Good week for them, and they're back in the power rankings at number 9.
At number 8, up 1 this week, the Arizona Diamondbacks.
You know I love the D-backs.
Oh, we do.
The D-backs have been a blast to watch this year, and they were at number 9 last week in these power rankings. They're 23-18 and second in the NL West. Who saw that coming from this year? With the Dodgers and the Padres, everybody was thinking, well, it's those two in the division. Well, the D-backs have something to say about that. The fighting MVP CCs, Corbin Carroll, he's been great this year. I love him. I love this team, and they've been everything. They've been great this year. They're here at number 8.
Keep driving that bandwagon.
I am.
Ben.
MVP CC bandwagon starts here, and it's off and running. He's having a great year. Love the guy.
All right, let's move on to number 7. Up 3 spots, the Brewers.
Man, the Brew Crew, if they can hit like they have been hitting lately, they are going to be a problem. Because pitching-wise, they have the pitching. Corbin Burns hasn't even exactly been having a Corbin Burns-esque season to this point, but he's dominant. Offense has been good. Christian Yelich had an unbelievable weekend. I think 3 homers over the weekend. Man, this team, if they're hitting, they're the real deal, and they hit over the weekend. They hit over the course of the last week, so I had to bump them up a few spots. They're here at number 7 this week.
At number 6, they are first in the AL West, but down 1 spot in your power rankings, the Texas Rangers.
Yeah, the Rangers are still playing good baseball, 25-15, and getting a lot of production from Josh Young, who's an almost said AL MVP, AL Rookie of the Year potential guy, probably a front runner for that right now. Jonah Heim behind the plate deserves a ton of credit for being one of the best catchers in baseball. Right now, I feel like Adley, Sean Murphy, Will Smith, JT Realmuto get all of that credit for in the conversation of best catchers in baseball. Put Jonah Heim in that conversation. He's been great. They're here at number 6. And they didn't move down a spot because of anything really that they did, but that will be explained more as we move on.
So let's move into your top 5. At number 5, after winning 5 in a row with the best record in the National League, the LA Dodgers.
They keep on moving up. They just keep on moving. They weren't, a couple weeks ago, they weren't even on the top 10 power rankings, but then they got back on the list. Now they keep moving up. They're up another spot to number 5. The Dodgers are rolling. I'm wearing their shirt now. Mookie Betts. Mookie's turned it around. He's hitting for a lot of power right now. Freddie Freeman doing his thing. They've gotten production from players this season that when you looked at the Dodgers this year, the head scratcher became, well, okay, they didn't really do anything though. So Mookie and Freddie and Will Smith will be good, but James Outman, the rookie this year, has been phenomenal. So Dodgers have moved on up. They're here at number 5.
Number 4, Baltimore Orioles.
I just love what this team is doing this year. 26-14, the Orioles are. They have the second best record in all of baseball. They had a series where they beat the Rays at home, best team in baseball, take down the Rays at home. They were on the road in Atlanta, lost 2 of 3 there, 2 one-run ball games. They've beaten the Pirates, surprisingly good baseball team, take them down over the weekend. The bird bath out in the outfield. Camden Yards is coming back to life. You can feel it in this team. You have Yanier Cano, who's been elite in the back end of the bullpen. Felix Bautista. They're one of the best 8-9 inning guys in all of the game of baseball. So I really like what the Orioles are doing. And they're 26-14, second in the AL East behind only the Rays, but second in all of baseball record-wise as well. They're here at number 4.
At number 3, down 1 spot after losing 4 in a row, the Atlanta Braves.
Yeah, the Braves were getting to the point where it was close to having them as the number 1 team, right there neck and neck with the Rays, but a tough week for them. It's swept by the Jays, on the road, swept by the Jays, but this team is very, very good. Ronald Acuna is having on pace for a 20-30 season. In the first half, on pace for 20 homers, 30 stolen bases in the first half, on pace for potentially a 40-40 season. The Braves are very good, and I couldn't knock them down, but too far after the full season they've had, sitting at 25-15, still very good, but a tough week, so had to bump them down a spot nonetheless.
And a reason you bumped them down is because the number 2 spot up 1, the Toronto Blue Jays brought it to them.
Another reason I couldn't bump the Braves down but too much, because they lost to the team that I now believe is the second best team in the game of baseball, the Toronto Blue Jays. Again, a big reason they got moved up is because of that dominant sweep against one of the best teams in the game of baseball. They were doing it in every which way, pitching, hitting, come from behind, wire-to-wire victories, literally everything you could imagine. They gave it to the Braves, and they deserve a ton of credit. They're 24-16, and I predicted them to win the AL East. It's going to be tough with the way the Rays are playing, but man, are they playing good baseball, and they are here at number 2.
And speaking of the Rays, holding strong with that number 1 spot, the best team in baseball, the Tampa Bay Rays.
Yeah, there's really no argument.
Yeah.
31-11, first team and only team in baseball to 30 wins. They're doing it, and it's truly incredible what the Rays are doing. When you sit back and look at their payroll of $75 million this year, contrast to the New York Mets, who their payroll is upwards of $340 million. What the Rays are being able to do in terms of pitching, 4 arms for them this year, just not even able to pitch anymore. Jeffrey Springs, TJ, Shane Baz, TJ in September, Tyler Glasnow yet to pitch so far this year. Drew Rasmussen, 60-day IL, but it does not look promising for him. And they're still just turning out guys that are able to put up good starts, good numbers. Offensively, they're getting production from every single person in that lineup one way or another. It's kind of a plug and place with this team. There's only a few players on this offense that are every single night, every day starters. Other than that, they're mixing and matching, and they're doing it perfectly. It is truly incredible how the Rays are able to do this, and they are again at the top of this week's Major League Baseball Power Rankings.